Shalom. Shalom.
Oh,
Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you walking out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And it's a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. I'm the brother Korah Abad. And as always, we got the beloved Elder Tazapah as well. And, at the water Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rachakodash, for blessing us with another week, another opportunity to come and bring forth this news. The prophecies of the Lord, which a lot of people going to start looking to in these latter days. Everybody going to want answers. And we coming into a different time to drastic events is about to start being one after another. The Lord gonna shake things up. So this open forum, we ain't got much. It ain't too many major things that happened this week, though some events did take place. But before we hop into it, Elder Tazapah, you have anything? The floor is yours.
Yeah, like you say, it's a blessing to be back. Another day to fight. It's a blessing. So we're gonna kick it off here, Isaiah 55:6. Like it says, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near." All right, because as the brother is saying, it's chaotic out, in the world. We are in those perilous times that the scriptures prophesied of. All right, and if you don't have the shadow of the Almighty, if you're not under the wings of the Most High, you can hang it up. All right, and the Most High is also exposing false prophets and bug outs. All right, that didn't take the time to receive the thawaf. All right, it's gonna show. All of these things are showing. These are the days where all will be revealed. We are living the book of Revelation, and you got it.
That's it. That's it. And just looking at articles from the past couple days, even weeks. One scripture that's been coming to mind for me is 2 Ezra 16, which we read it last week. And it says that the plagues was going to come as a woman in travail. And I can't get that out of my mind, because even before all this happened, it's like, okay, for example, once I had my first, child and actually had that experience, seeing contractions and they leave, right? Another contraction, they leave. But to see that the child come close, they get back to back to back. So I always kind of thought upon that scripture. Matter of fact, let's just read it. Now I'm gonna save it after these first couple articles. But the thing is, we coming into a different time to where the law about to overwhelm these people, with events, man. Yep. Overwhelm these people. And these first couple articles, let's hop into it. So remember last week we spoke on, and Shalom Tala Akim Akwath that's tuning in. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah Brakatham.
Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah Brakatham.
Yeah, the brother put it, we got to get it, the brother Labad. But now check this out. So remember last week we talked about it was a severe flooding that happened in two states mainly, Chicago and Texas. Which in Texas it was Kerrville. They had that Christian camp. Girls died and a lot of people died. But you also had in Chicago it flooded, just to show the players gonna start coming as a woman in travail, like contractions. The law is, niggas say spinning a block, especially in Chicago. The law has spun a block. The law has spun a block on Chicago. Now they have another severe threat even after last week that it flooded. Now, is it all of Chicago? Of course not. It's parts of it. But it's from End Time Headlines put out yesterday, July 16th. It says developing Chicago among 21 million under threat of severe storms. So the Lord just flooded parts of Chicago out, and now he's bringing a storm. Let's read a little bit. It says Chicagoland is facing a significant severe weather event, with the National Weather Service issuing multiple alerts for the region. A powerful clash of air masses brought the threat of severe thunderstorms capable of producing, I thought about the plagues in Egypt with this, capable of producing large hail. Remember, that was one of the things in Egypt, the Lord sent down hail. It says large hail, damaging winds, and even tornadoes, putting millions of residents on high alert. It says the storms were part of a broader weather pattern affecting the Midwest, with Chicago and surrounding areas heightened risk of flash flooding and destructive weather conditions. So this just off of them being flooded. Now they said they can expect more floods. So we'll see how that go. And again, a lot of these things, it's the alerts that we bring out, which shows we're, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Shah, we're ahead of the curve. So when we touch on these things, continue to look out for them. Just because Friday come, don't mean not check out, see what's going on. No, see how these things play out. Right. So that's Chicago. You got someone at Atazapar?
Let's see here. Yeah. Let's go into Amos chapter 5, and we'll start at 18. As you were saying, people are gonna be overwhelmed here soon. All right, you got a dying economy, crime rampant all over the U.S. Jobs ain't paying enough to keep up with the inflation. And it's just a breeding ground for misery. All right, which Isaiah the 24th chapter prophesied. And these are the times that we're in. But here in Amos chapter 5, verse 18, it says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord." All right, because they was, at the Christian camp, they thought they was worshiping the Lord.
Right.
And tragedy struck. They wasn't under the shadow. We tried to tell y'all that Christianity, plantation Christianity, is bogus. There's no power in it. It's just an empty shell, no substance. And so they didn't have a leg to stand on when that storm came through. But see, with us telling you that, we wicked and we wrong. But here it is now, we come to the part where the Most High is doing it. And now what you gonna say?
Right.
But the scripture says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord." You Christians, y'all gonna have it the worst. All right. It says, "To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light." All right. So these are the times. And that's the spirit that I started with, Isaiah 55 and 6, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found." Right. While there is light. Because all light is about to be darkened. This day that's coming it's a dark day. Light will be hid with the prophets, but it'll be hid with them. All that "let your light so shine before men," that's dead. That's these times right now. We're letting our light so shine before men that they may see, for those who have eyes to see. But when that time comes, and it's right around the corner, it's going to be dark. And again, I refer you back to Isaiah, the 24th chapter. But reading on, it says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him." If the lion wasn't bad enough, he got away from the lion, ran up on the bear.
Right.
It says, "Or went into the house," escaped the bear, made it into the house where he think there's safety, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. All right, that's the day of the Lord. So it's going to be no escaping. You're going to go from peril to tragedy to death. And that's, this is what we've been warning y'all of.
That's right.
But yeah, that was it. It's going to be pressure from above, pressure from beneath, and all the way around 360 degrees of pressure is what the Most High is bringing. But go ahead,
Yep. And it ain't gonna stop. And that's why it's so exciting.
at all.
And that's what I love, man. You know, I hate going to work, but I kind of love it in a sense when things happen and the Lord start to strike fear into these Americans, because I like to see these Edomites panic, you know, because
That's the comfort we have.
Mhm.
I'm the same way. I be looking and they be telling me stuff be going wrong. Yes, that's comforting to my soul, you know. But go ahead,
Now that's it. They, you know, they'll be like, bro, you know, don't say bro, but they be like, man, you know, I just hope, you know, things get better. And, you know, the government, you know, we Clark Kent, so we don't throw it all out there, but I'll be like, it ain't really looking like it, man, you know.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna feed into their hope. No, I ain't looking like it. You know,
Yeah.
not ain't looking like it. You know, but the beauty of it is, man, we should rejoice. You said something at the time about?
No, I say that's it.
So we'll move on, go to the next article. So again, remember this first one. The Lord flooded parts of Chicago last week, but he spun a block, so to speak. Now they 21 million under severe thunderstorms in Chicago. Now the Lord spun a block on another place. End Time Headlines put out July 14th. Again, as a woman in travail, these plagues gonna start coming quick and right after another. And man, I seen this thing. What it was in New Orleans. Remember that mass shooting happened, Elder Tazapar, in New Orleans on Bourbon Street?
The New Year's.
Yep, on New Year's. So I seen a comment. And
that was a truck. That was a truck, wasn't it? No,
that was a truck. Yep. You sure right. The water. It was a truck remember that truck that flew through Bourbon Street?
Right.
Now, I remember right after New Year's, you had the Super Bowl in New Orleans. And I've seen a lot of comments, especially niggas, but I've seen a lot of comments and people saying, man, if I was y'all, I wouldn't go to New Orleans for the Super Bowl because look what happened on Bourbon Street. And the response was, and this will piss me off, the response was, New Orleans is the best place to be right now because lightning don't strike twice in the same place. So they were saying it's good to go to the Super Bowl, although it's in New Orleans, because New Orleans just had a tragic event, so they're not about to have another tragic event. We're in the times where the Lord, it's going to be places to where it got hit one day, and the next day the Lord might double back and hit it again. We living in new times, man. It said a time like never before. The Lord will do new things in earth. And that's why I'm praying, man. We prayed to Yahweh by Shema Shah to just show these people, because just a pride like that to say, well, something already happened a couple months ago, so you know ain't nothing gonna happen again. You don't know Yahweh by Shema Shah. You see, so going back into this, after Chicago is getting another alarm, now you have put out July 14th. The NWS warns of new dangerous situation unfolding in Texas. And you know what's cold? It ain't just anywhere in Texas. It's around an area that just flooded last week. It says Central Texas is bracing for more, keyword more, is bracing for more flooding as the National Weather Service, NWS, issued fresh warnings on Monday, July 14, 2025. 3 days ago. It says, following a deadly deluge that claimed dozens of lives earlier this month. The region still reeling. That sounds so good. Still reeling. What reeling mean?
Like rolling.
They still going through it. The region still reeling from the catastrophic flooding of the Guadalupe River on July 4th. And it faces heightened risk as saturated soils and swollen rivers amplify the threat of additional rainfall. So look, now through the Guadalupe River, you got creeks, other smaller rivers, other little pines that's flooding on top of what's about to happen. And it says the NWS has warned of a dangerous situation unfolding with up to 10 inches of rain expected in some areas. We have to pause here. And men at the Toss of Power, we often just like to make this point. When these events happen, the flooding, the earthquakes, the hurricanes, the fires, the tornadoes, and devastate people's houses and lands, just because it's not on the news the next day, and just because another article don't be posted about it, those people are still assed out. You have a lot of people still without houses. A lot of people, this just a month ago on the 4th, you have, it's what, 10 to 15 days later, you still have people suffering, trying to pull stuff out of flooded house, and it's about to flood again.
Yeah, Colin.
You got it.
Yeah, they don't, yeah, you don't see that part. They don't show you that part, but you had mentioned, I believe you mentioned this last week about the 15-minute cities. And so, you know, they probably got the crosshairs, that town, Kerrville, probably got a crosshair on it to get everybody up out of there. So you got to, you know, keep that in mind too. A lot of these storms, which are brought to us by the Most High, but are orchestrated by Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the powers that be, those Edomites at the top. So yeah, that you're gonna see more in Chicago. It's always been a major hub where you know, Chicago's out. It's I guess it sits on the ley line. It's always been an important city. So yeah, I guess, you know, they're gonna do something with it. But yeah, these certain places, you know, although these storms may not be natural, it just lend more credibility that you know, this is the work of the Most High. Or when I say natural, I mean as you know, their regular patterns may come. As you see, these storms have irregular patterns. All right. But this showing you that the Most High is doing this. Because as going back to Amos, well, let me grab it.
Bring it out.
You know, shall evil be done in the city, and the Lord had not done it? All right.
That's Amos 3.
Yeah, I got it.
Come on.
Amos chapter 3, verse 6, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord had not done it? So, right, these things are evil. When you go into the etymon of evil, you got Eve dealing with time, and ill meaning bad. So you're talking about a bad time. When people are uprooted from their homes are destroyed. In one video, you see a whole house washed away, you know, uprooted from its foundation and being washed away. You know, which is fitting for what you see going on here in Israel with a lot of these guys that once, you know, was a part of this truth or claimed to be a part of this truth, who built their houses on sand, and they're being washed away in the floods of adversity, the floods of tribulation, you know. But we see here in these actual floods, houses are being destroyed, people are being uprooted. All right, this is all by design, but it's ultimately the Most High's design. All right, and so again, Amos 3 and 6, shall a trumpet be blown in the city? That trumpet is an alert, is blown for an alert. All right, to give people warning of certain danger that's approaching the city. So it says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord had not done it? So the Lord is doing all of this. All these great evils are being brought to you by Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. And as the brother said, it's not going to stop. The intensity will increase until Yahweh Shah crack them clouds and bring salvation to the children of Israel. And you got it, Ak.
That's it. That's it, man. A lot about to happen. I'm gonna go back to this so we can finish this off. So again, in Kerrville, it's supposed to be flooding again, and not just in Kerrville specifically, but in that region, right? So it says the NWS has warned of a dangerous situation unfolding with up to 10 inches of rain expected in some areas, potentially exacerbating the already dire conditions in Texas Hill Country, man. And it goes on to have 12 inches of rain fell, 75 people died. Well, 90 people died. And it goes on, so on and so forth. And it's like I got to put all these articles in the chat as well. And it goes into the excessive runoff from the Guadalupe River, how rivers, creeks, streams, and other low-lying and flood-prone locations are starting to flood as well. You see? Now, to touch on that, the Lord, again, plagues in Egypt as before. Now, you also have parts of New Jersey and New York flooding. This put out a End Time Headlines July 15. Extreme flooding triggers emergency in New York and New Jersey. Now, this happened, it says Monday. And I don't think too much as far as death happened, death or damage, but still, it says heavy rainfall and slow moving storms battered the U.S. Northeast on Monday, July 14, 2025, triggering widespread flash flooding across New York City and New Jersey. The severe weather prompted flash flooding warnings for all 5 boroughs of New York City and a state of emergency declaration in New Jersey. So on and so forth. And that's it on that one. And another one, developing. End Time Headlines put out yesterday, July 15th. Developing tropical storm system could form in the Gulf, producing the next big flood. See, the Lord ain't letting up off these people. I'm gonna get the precept real quick. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 37. In the 2nd Ezra 16 and 37, it says, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack." They ain't gonna stop, they ain't gonna slow down. And the Lord about to give an example of how they go come. It says, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringing forth her son within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when a child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So even so just like those contractions eventually start hitting back to back and be more painful, the Lord said, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. The world shall mourn and sorrow shall come upon it on every side, man. So the Lord ain't gonna let up. And that's why we know when people say pray for America or pray for better days or God bless America or pray for the victims. No, forget them victims. They already gone. They through. The Lord, they ain't the only victims the Lord about to make victims in America. See, people want this to stop, but we know according to prophecy, it ain't gonna stop. Things gonna get worse. Right?
And when the Lord, I think that was Mary, he told she was weeping, and he told us, because he told her he was gonna leave, and he said, "Oh, don't weep for me." He said, "Weep for yourself." And that's how it is. People worry about people that's gone. They in a better place than we are. Shit. They chilling. We got to go through this tribulation. This hour of temptation. But yeah, brother, what you got?
Yep. So next one, I'll read a little bit of this. It ain't much, but so it says a developing weather system in the Gulf of Mexico is raising concerns about the significant flooding along the Gulf Coast with potential to become a tropical storm Dexter, the 4th named storm of 2025. So these storms are already hitting a little earlier than supposed to. Like right here says, if it can muster a defined center of circulation and strengthen further, it could become Dexter. It says CNN reports noting that this milestone is typically reached around mid-August, making a potential of early formation notable. So the Lord speeds things up, man.
Definitely. For our sake.
That's it.
That's right.
Yep. Next one, and I know we, was jokingly saying this last week, how I feel like every week is a new earthquake somewhere. Well, it is. End time headlines put out yesterday, July 16th. Powerful 7.3 magnitude earthquake near Alaska, which is considered American territory. It says Alaska triggers tsunami warning. Right. So it says a powerful 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Alaska, prompting immediate tsunami warnings for the coastal areas of Alaska Peninsula and parts of South Central and Southwest Alaska. And it's a powerful one. But look, all day, every day, you could just look it up. It's 3 point some earthquakes, 2 point some earthquakes, 5, 4s, and 1s and 6s. You know, this is just one out of many that's happening daily on what Yahweh Shai said. Before he comes, there's going to be many earthquakes in diverse places. Yep. You had something on that one?
No, you good.
We can move on. And again, it's an open forum, and I'm about to try to throw these articles in the chat for y'all because we ain't gonna hit on all of them. So like y'all, I'm a little tardy on that. So in this next one, I'll play this little video real quick. Now this from the Elder Mahaloya in Kansas City. Now he went into a video, and I played the beginning of it. But this is the title of his page, and his page is GMS KC Prophets 3. And the title says, "There is something going on in the spirit. Animals leaving Yellowstone Park in droves." And what's funny is that last week on the Thursday Live was like Yellowstone Park, something bound to happen at that place. Whether it's an earthquake, whether a volcano, something bound to happen at that place. Is a main tourist attraction in America. You think the Lord will lead that, untouched or unused as far as a plague to bring? We'll see. But so this thing that's been happening, which I did look it up to make sure it's legit, and it is legit. But you look at Esau, how he got like a Snopes, SNOPES, Snopes.com. They like to fact check everything, and many other websites from Esau, and they say it is true. Animals like bears, bison are leaving Yellowstone Park. And it says, but it's not for the reasons that you think. They just migrating, and they do this every year. But the thing is, why every year it ain't recorded? Why every year you ain't making a big deal out of it like this time? If it's every year, then the people who go there should be a normal event that they migrate. Now I know animals do migrate, but all of a sudden, all species, a lot of different species. And remember, the scriptures say, "Ask the animals, and they shall tell thee." Animals move when they feel something about to happen in the earth.
Right.
So I go ahead and play this video from the elder, and if you got anything other Taza Pod, just let me know.
Go on.
Hold on, let me make sure the sound up. Okay, Con, we good. I just want to highlight that comment because the scripture said, I think it's King Solomon. If a brother know where it's at, I think it's in Proverbs. It says, "Ask the animals, and they shall tell thee." But from Catherine Flores on a comment, it says, "Why haven't humans, learned that animals know more than we do? It's a warning." And it ain't that they know more than we do, because according to the scriptures, people, we are the superior creatures. The Lord gave us intellect, decision, so on and so forth. But the thing is, would you say, Elder Tazapah?
Yeah, the ability to reason and understand.
That's it. That's the proper word. Reason and understand. But animals, they can be used to detect signs. As far as animals know when the weather about to change, they will migrate somewhere else where it's gonna be warmer, right? If they feel an earthquake coming, they will run. You see?
Right. They're in tune to the natural rhythms of nature, of the earth. They're in tune. And we were at one point till this devil took over and disrupted everyone from the natural rhythm. That's why we keep the Sabbath by the moon. That's a rhythm. All right. That's a pattern. and it keeps us in tune with the natural flow of things. And Esau took us out of that. But the animals, they still, some of them are still able to tune in. It's like when you hear about them whales beaching and the dolphins beaching, their rhythm, they have they're in tune to the electromagnetic pulse, if you will, of the earth. And so that's how they navigate the sea. They tune into the electromagnetic frequency given off by the earth. And if that's disrupted, then they can easily, you know, swim ashore. All right, because their sense of direction is thrown off. And so that's what it is. It's not that they know more, they're in tune with the natural flow of things. Right. And they feel the flow is disrupted. So they say, let me get the hell out of here. And us on this rat wheel, I got to go to work in the morning. I ain't got time for that. I got to pay these bills. I ain't trying to hear that. We on Esau's rhythm, which is it's a rhythm of death. You know? And that's why it's so important to come back if you are a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, to come back to your heritage as an Israelite, all right? So you can get in tune. And not just, you know, with the earth, but with your spirituality. Because all people are grossly misaligned, you know, in their spirituality. But that, you know, that's all that is. You got it.
Con, man, I'm looking for it. So I typed in ChatGPT the other day, and my question was, this is my question, and if I could find it, I'm gonna show it, because first I'm gonna give my question. I said, since the white man has been ruling the world, has the earth deteriorated? And why has so many animals become extinct? It says, yes, the earth has seen significant environmental deterioration and an increase in species extinction during the era of Western, largely European and American global dominance. Now it goes on, and I did a lesson on it, but yesterday I posted as a 2-part lesson. But one part of it, and I'm looking for it, man, because it hit right on what you said. It says that not only did Esau destroy the world and animals, but it said that he took away the natural connection that people have from the earth. Literally what you just said.
The natural connection. Because what? He is cursed from the earth or from the ground. So he has no connection. So he can only, that's why everything he creates is death. All this technology is death. These cell phones killing them. I used to have 20/20 before cell phones. It ain't age. It's the goddamn blue lights from the cell phones. And I still see all right, but sometimes, you know, I get blurry. But yeah, this shit is killing us, man. Wi-Fi routers, 5G, Wi-Fi, hotspot. All this shit is bombarding us. We are electromagnetic as human beings. Our bodies are electromagnetic. Our bodies are more frequency than matter. Matter is frequency, shit. So when you're hitting us with frequency, that affects you. That's why these words, you're supposed to have to sing this song right to get the proper frequencies, inflections, and denotations. All that's got to be on point. You know, but yeah, Esau has disrupted that. He is cursed from the earth. So yeah, all this shit is killing us. That's why the Lord say, if he don't come back, you know, there would be no flesh left to be saved.
That's right.
People have no, and that's what I mean by spirituality. You don't know that you're a spiritual being, that these things don't affect you. People just think they can do shit and then not be affected, watching porn and shit, and then it don't affect you or anything outside of, you know, what That's why we have a law to govern us. It's to govern our spirituality as well as our physical bodies. It's the complete, it's the complete law. Or you know, it has everything that we need, you know, to be successful and thrive in this earth. But go ahead, brother.
Nah, that's it. That's it. I'll go ahead and play the video again.
Did you guys see that all of the animals are?
I read that too on the screen because again they said it's just migration. And this is my thing. If it's just migration, do it happen around this time every year in Yellowstone Park? And if so, this should be a natural occurrence for everybody to where people not making a big deal about it. Why is it different now? So it says Yellowstone for weeks now are exiting. So like animals for weeks now are exiting Yellowstone. Authorities dialing down concerns, calling it migration, but that's not correct with amounts and breeds.
Did you guys see that all of the animals are leaving Yellowstone National Park? They're all making their way, leaving Yellowstone National Park. I keep telling you guys, the earth is groaning, the earth is showing signs. Everything is shifting in the atmosphere. The sky is different. Everything is different, and everyone can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Turning soon.
You got it?
You can feel it. No, that was it. You got some more?
Oh, just a little bit like our intro song. You can feel it coming in the air.
I know, that's why that was spiritual, man. At first, I wasn't really crazy about it, but then the spirit hit me. I'm like, man, that's right on point. But yeah, brother, hey, right quick, bearer of Yahushua, Job chapter 12, verse 7. But ask now the beast, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. All right, verse 8. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee. All right, and you have Jake that talk to the herbs. They know what even Gad know what herbs to take because they can communicate with the herbs, the earth. But then they start worshiping the earth. Some of them, not all, some of the tribes of Gad. So they broke off, Gad broke off in the tribes. Although they was all Gad, you know, they had several tribes within Gad. But the prophecy was we was going to become a company of nations, you know, and that potential hadn't even been fulfilled yet, but Jacob already started on it. You know, they was over here in this plenteous land, and they was fruitful and multiply as we do. But right, that's not, you know, far-fetched or imaginary. Say, speak to the earth, or the earth. Well, how did it go?
Let's see. It says Job 12 and 8, or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare it unto thee.
And if you know anglers and fishermen that deal with that sea, it's a wisdom that they got a certain wisdom, and they know just follow certain fishes, and they know it's a science behind angling. That's why they call it angling and fishing. And I never got into it, but the brother Karabah, the priest, he know a little bit about it. But yeah, the fishes, they teach you, and even, you know, other things that they even with the moon, they follow the moon.
Most of creation on a full moon.
Yeah, most of creation follows the moon. And I learned that you got to pick your herbs by the moon. But these are the sciences that was lost. Well, that was taken from us. But you got it out. Yep, we're gonna get all that back. That's what when we get our kingdom, we're gonna get all that back. Because, you know, and we we thank the Lord for the herbs, and we know that the power and the virtue of the herbs come from on high, from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. But you ever notice how some herbs don't hit the same? And it's a lot of factors that can go into that, but one of the factors may be the time that is harvested, you know. But yeah, brother.
Yep. I got a real quick one from Lamad, Isaiah 24:5. This is a good one. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
I was
Now,
gonna read that one too.
You got it. Yep.
Oh no, you good. You good.
Yeah, that's on point. It says Isaiah 24:5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. And Esau is the ruler of the world, and he did everything out of order that the Lord said to do. And now we see the results of it. And everybody will be affected by the way this man ruled the world. It's his fault. And now he's trying to escape and blame it on everybody. It was y'all eating too much meat. Y'all
global warming.
Right.
Yeah. All that your carbon footprint, all that shit. Con. Yeah, I've been holding that whole chapter. But Isaiah 24. But yeah, that was right on point. I was gonna read that too. Yep.
Yep, and
Alawape mentioned that last week too. He mentioned it again on that super volcano.
Yep.
You know, we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, Lord willing, something happen, man.
But if it don't go off, that missile gonna set it off.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can move on into Akim. You know, Aqua, those the articles that we touched on is in the chat, and the video from the elder is in the chat right now. But we can move on. We about to wander down here in a few. So the first couple articles, you see the Lord, he's spinning a block with these floods, man. He about to flood more people out here in America. You know, it's dangerous thunderstorms that's on the horizon. You got earthquakes that's still happening. You got animals that's showing signs of as they would call it, natural disasters taking place. But also, speaking of insects or animals or bugs, you have from naturalnews.com put out yesterday. It says parasites called kissing bugs spreading deadly Chagas disease in Florida. 280,000 suspected of being infected. Plagues in Egypt as before. It says health experts are raising alarms over a growing threat in the southeastern United States. Parasitic bugs that feed on humans and transmit a potentially deadly disease. A decade-long study conducted in Florida and Texas has revealed that Trypanosoma cruzi, a parasite spread by blood-sucking triatomine bugs, commonly known as kissing bugs, is infecting both humans and animals. Sound like plagues in Egypt as before to me, often without their knowledge. Would you say?
Yeah, no, that's a plague. Yeah,
and the Lord got it in Florida too. It's a common saying, Florida man. They off the chain out there. But it says kissing bugs in the southeastern U.S. are spreading. Right, we went there. It says, which can lead to heart failure, blood clots, and digestive system damage if left untreated. Researchers found that over 1/3 of kissing bugs collected in Florida were inside homes, with 1 in 3 carrying the parasite and feeding mostly on humans and pets, particularly in areas where housing encroaches on undeveloped land. It says Chagas disease often goes undetected for decades, and its nickname is a silent killer. And it infected people show no early symptoms. Chronic stages can include serious cardiovascular and digestive complications. That sounds like the juice. What happened when you took the juice?
It could be. Yeah. It could be.
So they just throwing stuff out there to give it an excuse for people who about to die from the juice, and they will say, "No, that's a Chagas disease."
Yeah. No, you could be on something.
Because everything is saying it sounds like the juice, the effects of the juice. And it says experts advise.
No, they're gonna be making up stories. So that's something to look into. Yeah.
That's it. So hey, we'll keep our eyes on that one. And it says experts advise preventive steps like habitat management. You know, and you know, the average American not about to go in and do all these things, keeping wool piles away from homes, right? Pet sleeping areas, sealing cracks in the walls, avoiding conditions that attract bugs. Americans don't care about that. They need to get on Instagram. They gotta watch what's the new show? There's a new TV show. Everybody been talking. I forget.
Not the Squid Game. Huh?
Nah, it ain't that. It's some stupid. It's like a. It remind me of like Big Brother or like, you know,
I'm not sure.
Shit, like I forget what it's called. I don't know. People been talking. I don't even know what. I forget.
The sitcom.
Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. New TV show. Popular. Let's see. New popular TV show. I don't know if somebody. It's something. I don't know. It ain't that important. It's an American show, but the point is, Americans not worried about protecting themselves. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's going on right now. We can move on. And still in Florida, put out yesterday, July 16th, killer bacteria claimed the lives of 4 people in Florida as officials issues urgent warning. So you got killer bacteria in water. It says right now you got a total of 11 infections and 4 people died from it. So we'll see where that go. Bacteria getting into people's wounds and all that. Yeah.
That was Florida.
Would you say, Zaquan?
That's in Florida?
Yeah, both of them in Florida, the parasite and the bacteria.
Now remember, I hear a guy died.
Yup, he died in Freeport.
Okay, Freeport. I was trying to remember. Yeah. And he had an open wound as some type of bacteria took him out. So they between Florida and Texas, man, it could be something in the Gulf. Could all the way go back to that Corexit. Who knows? From BP oil spill.
Yeah, Freeport on
Yeah,
the 30 miles.
everything is screwed up, man. These Edomites. To say they wiser than Daniel, they sure do some dumbass shit. They got the world messed up.
Yep. Yeah, I read this one real quick. You about to say something?
I got one when you finish.
Can I just read this because we brought it up? This from KHO Houston 11 News. It says it was spreading just like a fire. Texas man dies from Vibrio bacteria infection in less than a week after going fishing. And he went fishing in Freeport. Freeport only 30 miles from where I'm at.
Yeah, that ain't far from you.
Yeah, right. It was said that this dude, him right here, Randy, he looked like a Randy. It was said that Texan, you know, Randy. You know, he had a you know, what's them one of them trucks, those F-150. You know, Randy had one.
Yeah. Randy Randleman.
Right. But it said Randy had a cut on his foot and he went wave fishing when you got the boots in the water. And it said the water got in his cut, and within a week he deteriorated and he died. So the Lord doing things like that. What you got advertiser, Paul?
Yeah. A week, just as you waste away in a week. Damn. Some hellified bacteria, bro.
Yeah, that was quicker than
this
easy.
Is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 10. The city of confusion, which has a name, which that name is Babylon. All right, which Babylon means confusion. Now, this is talking about the spiritual Babylon, the virgin daughter Babylon. This is that city of confusion, America. All right. So the city of confusion, America, is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And this is where we are. You know, there's still a little mirth. People still going to the ball games and watching the games, and like you just mentioned, they rallying behind these shows. the TV shows and series and all of this. And people still hitting the bars and the clubs. The prophecy tells us that, you know, it's going to be as in the days of Noah, that they're going to be eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage. All right, but that's really coming to a close right now. You know, and people that will be engaged in that, you know, the celebrating the festivities and the marriages and all of that, they ain't gonna have that same joy. It ain't gonna be joyous. The mercy of the Lamb is gone. But that's the Most High breaking this city of confusion down. It's being broken down. We was talking about the Epstein list before we started. And I was telling the brother, I forget who I was listening to that was talking about it. It could have been Wolf, Richard Wolf. But I don't want to put that on him. I forget who it was. But they said that the list coming out could be a matter of national security. And I got to thinking about it. I was like, well, yeah, that's true. But I don't think that's the reason why. But he had a point. And that's because that probably 90%, if not more, of government is on that list.
Yep.
So you would have to prosecute the entire of the government, both left and right wing, from your commander in chief on down. J.D. Vance might have, you know, skated by, and a few others, but the swamp is still there, and that list exposes the swamp. And so that got me to thinking, man, this shit is so corrupt to where you can't even, America, Babylon, this city of confusion is in such derision that you can't even persecute wickedness. It's so corrupt here that you can't even bring wickedness to justice, because you would have to implement the entire government. And then that would bring anarchy, or at least create a power vacuum. Then I'm just saying that to say, this is where we have come. This is where we are. That is sad. Where these adults, now they supposed to be the cream of the crop, the tip of the top. They supposed to be the ones that know better than everybody else. That's why they govern. Because they saying, I know better than you. Let me do this. And you people give them that power when you vote for them. Mm-hmm. But they supposed to be the shining examples. And this is what they giving y'all. And this is what y'all went to the polls to vote for. And you believe this man told you he was going to drain the swamp? He didn't do it the first four. And now he's showing you who he really is, that he is the swamp. You know what he is? He's the goddamn stopper that they put to plug up the hole in the swamp. But yeah, what Wolf did say, and I forgot to mention it last week, I'll say it here this week, is that Trump has appeased his supporters, and now they don't care what he does.
Yep.
As long as he don't get too out of line, and if he does something, and the only reason they saying out of line is they meaning if the people have a rebellion to anything he does, then they'll rein him in. But he say other than that, Trump got free reign, and we dealing with Nero, the spirit of Nero. So the persecutions are going to ramp up right here in America. After who? Who did I tell you the war was against? It's us. It's the reason Jeremiah 30:7 says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of what? Jacob's trouble is coming for us. Nero is coming for us. Well, beginning with you 2/3 knuckleheads. But they coming for all of us. Only thing is, we're going to be under that shadow of the Almighty. So it ain't no telling how that's going to play out or what that's going to look like when the time comes. And you go and fuck with a brother. Or, they go to fuck with a brother. And ain't no telling how that's going to look. But I know the end result. And so, right, we watching in real time the Most High breaking this place down, man. The corruption is overwhelmingly rampant. It came out today in the news. I believe it was fresh today that these same Edomites, the powers that be, they're organ harvesting over in Gaza. See, this is the stuff you're not gonna hear on CNN. But yeah, they're organ harvesting the Palestinians that they're killing. So that's going on. This is demonic. We are wrestling not with flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities. This shit is demonic. The demons are at play. And my words don't do it enough credit. We are in perilous times. Demons are running rampant in the earth. And they're bloodthirsty. They got a bloodlust. But these are demons ordained for the Most High's judgment. So we have to give all diligence to make our calling and election sure. So you got it, brother.
That's it. That's it. Now we could wind it down. These next two articles we really ain't gonna touch on, but as you're just saying, Trump been slamming his supporters, and this is the scripture says a house divided.
Oh yeah. I forgot you had that story. I'm looking at it, but let's get into that.
We'll get into it. I read it. It says July 16th in time headline. We can end it on this one too. I had another one, but we touched on it about a week ago. We're just touching on that, the wearable technology from JFK. But we can end it on this one. So it says Trump slams MAGA supporters who believe Epstein BS bull stuff. So if you a Trump supporter and you believe the Epstein files, you believe is real, Trump really called you a dumb donkey.
Yeah, like like a conspiracy theorist to dismiss him as loony or cuckoo.
Yep. A conspiracy nut, like Bishop Nate said.
Yeah, nut. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. And so now Trump again. This is how the main people who still for America, for the so-called traditions and the foundational Americans, as far as white America, the last people who still believe in this place as far as in that sphere of thinking is MAGA supporters, Trump supporters. Now he telling them, don't support me no more. If you believe the Epstein, he want everybody to just forget about it. Don't bring it up no more. It's over with.
Yeah.
He even said, why y'all still bringing up a man who was dead 4 years ago? So he wants you to put it to rest. Don't think about it. It was fake. And he went so far to say, yeah, because this is all made up. Obama and Michelle Obama put this out, and Hillary Clinton put this out. The Democrats are like, come on, bro. Come on, man. So he calling the supporters stupid, dumb, don't support them. And this is clear signs to show when the people start saying F the government and they ain't gonna have no favorite president or they ain't gonna have none of that. Trump and them starting to show their true signs, and the people, we eventually stop caring, man.
Dan Bongino. That's it. He supposedly had stepped down from being deputy director. Dan Bongino and Kash Patel allegedly rendered their resignations from their positions. behind the Epstein list. But I mean, that would be the honorable thing to do, because how would you save face when that's what you campaigned on? Is we're gonna prosecute that Epstein list, and then now your commander in chief say, what list? I don't see any list. You see a list? He looking over at Pam Bondi. I don't see no list. The same list she said was on her desk, and she was going to review it. Now they act like they are what list? So yeah, if you have any integrity, you got to step down. And especially Dan Bongino was talking all that hot shit. They was talking all that hot shit because they was behind Trump. They believed in it. And so, right, this creates a rift. As you stated, this creates a house divided. In which we know about that. You got it. I'm going to grab that right quick. Go ahead.
That's it. I read a little more. It says President Donald Trump sparked. And again, all this is to smoke and mirror, you know? They use this to get the people going, though it is an Epstein list. Yeah, they did go to the island. Yeah, they nasty. Esau nasty. It's real, but they gonna use this as far as distraction to get people going. And they was okay with bringing out the Diddy stuff in the baby oil, but Epstein, we all vote they ain't real. Just get people going, man. To not think about what they're doing behind the scenes, you know. But the thing is, it's actually happening, though. You know, so
yeah.
You got what you had to talk about?
Somebody said, well, you have made me, you have reminded me of something. But somebody was saying, well, Jeffrey Epstein is dead, but he went to jail, but he's dead. Ghislaine Maxwell went to jail, so what did they go to jail for? Now you're gonna say there's no list? What was they prosecuted for? You know, it's crazy. But yeah, what was I going at? I forgot what I was looking for.
Yeah, I forgot too. It's slipping my mind. Yeah, I forgot.
I forgot what I was gonna get. But anyway, let me see what brothers got on the comment board.
Cause that's all we have. So whatever bros got. I get this one real quick. Matthew 24:7. It says, "For nation shall rise, brother Lamar. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences." And as we talk about, there's many diseases that's happening right now as well. It says, "And earthquakes in diverse places, and all these are the beginning of sorrows."
Let's see here.
Yeah, Al-Awab said Trump promised that he was going to release the list during his campaign.
Yeah, I mean, throughout his entire campaign. One of the major things he campaigned on. This is Al-Awab, Psalm 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. But yeah, that's all we had. I don't know if you want to wind it down, end it, take us out.
Yeah, come. So with that, you know, we're going to close this lesson out, and we pray that you all were edified. The water to you all for joining in, you know, with us. And hopefully we'll see y'all again next week. Yeah. Before we leave, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory again to Yahweh. Go honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings unto the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. Much love to the next one. Shalom.
Shalom. The water for tuning in. Shalom.